And Rogan was always, this isn't normal for someone. You get around, but not consistently get rounds. That's weird. And then later we're walking back to the quarter to you.
I think of money as fun coupons.
Sure.
That's how I think of it. Like, how much fun can I have with this?
Why do you think he does it?
Oh, I don't know. He's a positive guy.
So if you haven't heard, Joe Rogan is dropping his first comedy special in 6 years live on Netflix at the beginning of August, and the response has been absolutely brutal. Even Rogan himself looks worried in the promo poster, and the fact that it's going to be a live event just makes the whole thing even better, or worse depending how you look at it. So I'm going to take you through the responses so far to the announcement, but also, as you saw in the intro, Ari Shaffir went on the Tucker Carlson show this week, where they discussed everything from the Kobe Bryant controversy, all the death threats that Ari has received over the years for his controversial style of comedy, as well as his experience as a Jew in the modern world. Needless to say, it was boring as fuck until they got to the end and Tucker asked about Rogan's impact on the comedy industry as a whole. That discussion ended up as a clip on one of Tucker's YouTube channels with the title, How Joe Rogan Single-Handedly Saved Comedy. And as per usual, whenever Rogan's impact on comedy is discussed, or just his comedy in general, the guys having the discussion are completely oblivious to the fact that Rogan's comedy is trash. Take a look at some of the most liked comments under that clip. Joe Rogan honestly isn't a good comedian. That being said, what he has accomplished with his podcast is extraordinary, and his commentary when it comes to martial arts is top-notch. Joe is an average comic. Ari would be literally nothing without Rogan. So what started as a conversation about how Joe saved comedy ended up accidentally exposing Rogan for buying his way onto the comedy scene. But yet again, over on the Joe Rogan Experience, for the second time in 2 weeks, Rogan brought up the fun coupons, so we'll get into all of that as well as a couple of other moments from the latest episode.
I don't want to say who it was. Oh my God, I just got hot sauce in my eye.
Oh no.
I was eating something with ghost peppers today and I forgot I had it on my hand and I just wiped my eye. Maybe that'll clear up my eyes.
It's going to clear up something. You psycho.
You're definitely going to forget about your eye.
Oh my God.
What a glowing endorsement of this product.
Oh my God.
It's all good though, because Sam's lobster shirt made it through the podcast and onto the Comedy Mothership stage later that night for the full Joe Rogan comedy experience. Podcast by day and Comedy Mothership by night. But let's get back to Ari's interview with Tucker Carlson first. Like I said, they discussed Ari's background and cast. But outside of the show, Rogan is known for being quite generous with his money and helping out his friends who were broke. Because remember, Rogan's pretty much always had a public profile, whether it was news, radio.
Yeah, but it's like, what do you do with it? Like, I think of money as fun coupons.
Sure.
That's how I think of it. Like, how much fun can I have with this?
I think of it as safety. It can be taken away at any moment.
That's up to a point. Once you pass a certain bank account number, then it becomes fun coupons.
I remember when I had my first comma in my bank account. I called my dad.
Nice. Got a comma, Dad.
Yeah, dude.
You don't have to do anything stupid to just prove that you used. When I was young, I got a development deal lighter. Like I felt lighter. And then I was like, oh, that's the key. Like, get the monkey off your back. Get the bill monkey off your back. And that's the real freedom. Get to a place where your lifestyle, whatever you have to do.
So that's how you get the fun coupons. Just get a Disney. Interesting, Rogan announced this week that finally, after 6 long years with no comedy special, he's coming out with a new one titled Burn the Boats. And it's going to be aired live on Netflix on August the 3rd. I'll definitely be doing a full breakdown with clips on Patreon, so check out the link in the description if you're interested in seeing that. But one of the funniest things Rogan has ever done is given us the gift of his comment sections and replies. Let's take a look at some of the top replies to his announcement on Instagram. So straight under Andrew Schultz kissing the ring, we've got, he still hasn't given up on that stand-up thing. Years ago, I knew him from news radio and obviously Fear Factor, then found out about UFC commentary. Once I started listening to the podcast, I was surprised to find out he was a comic. After hearing his comedy, I was still surprised he was a comic. Oh, that one never gets old. We all know Rogan ain't funny, still love the pod though. Stick to the podcast, your stand-up is mid. Not sure who's worse at stand-up, Rogan or Schaub. I feel like Rogan should change his don't read comments rule to read the general consensus every 2 years at least. Can't wait for you to release another unfunny special. And this last one, here we go. You know the old saying, if you can't beat 'em, buy a comedy club to stay relevant. But it's so true, right? Rogan's last special was released back in 2018, and since then we've had the pandemic, which really blew up the whole comedy space with Rogan's help. He moved to Austin and he built a whole new comedy scene, and now we have the long-awaited comedy special to remind everyone just how much of a comedy hack he really is, further reinforcing how he has survived and grown his comedy profile by always being the richest guy in the room. That's what makes this whole Austin comedy scene circle jerk so funny, the fact that Rogan himself is so unfunny. But I could be proven wrong, time will tell. This could be the comedy special to rule all specials and finally cement Rogan as one of the all-time comedy greats. Or we could end up seeing Rogan so private that he secretly recorded the proposal from multiple angles, made a 17.5-minute video titled I Got Engaged, which has been viewed 5 million times, and then dedicated an entire episode of Impulsive to his engagement, starring his new fiancée, which has around 800,000 views.
That's why I was able to do it discreetly without her knowing that she was being filmed.
And then
I don't know, I kind of agree with Joe here. It's just a stupid video. It was made in poor taste, but it's the kind of shit that Logan Paul does. The guy's out of control. That's what made him so interesting to watch from the beginning. He's like the class clown if the class was the whole of the internet. Having said that, I honestly don't really care about that stuff. What gets my knickers in a knot is how Logan Paul takes advantage of his position to profit from his followers. The guy's a serial grifter. Nothing in his world seems real. I wouldn't want to be in his circle of friends or even work with him. The guy has no moral compass. He's been searching for clicks basically his whole life. Every move he makes is scripted or staged, which is fine if that's the way he wants to live his life, but it doesn't give him the right to steal people's money and then just completely ignore them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a quick refresher on Logan Paul's CryptoZoo scam to get you guys up to speed. It's taken from episode 1951 of JRE with CoffeeZilla nails it in his assessment. Logan Paul has built a massive following over the years. It obviously took a lot of hard work. It's very stressful and he made some sacrifices to get there. That was his decision and he's stupidly rich as a result. Good luck to him. He's got the clicks and the eyeballs on his content. If he wants to advertise certain products, plug his merch, partner with other advertisers, I have no problem with that. If you don't like his content, don't watch it and don't buy his products. Simple. But where things get complicated is when he sets up financial investments, advertises it as a fun game, him and all of his mates profit from it, and everyone who invested loses all their money. That's some PBD level grifting. They take advantage of vulnerable people for a profit. And look, I get it. Those followers chose to invest in a scheme that was clearly dodgy. We all have to take individual responsibility for our actions. But when someone with the public persona of Logan Paul is telling you to trust him, it's going to be big, we're all going to make money, he has to bear some responsibility for not knowing the details and also for the so-called game not working as advertised. And in case you're wondering, there's actually a lawsuit against Logan Paul in Texas that's still going. Here's a quick update from Carvos if you're interested.
If you haven't been following this lawsuit, Logan Paul hasn't even been trying to argue his innocence to the allegations of basically fraud and scamming his fans with a rug pull. No. Because the lawsuit is coming out of Texas, big brain Logan Paul and his lawyers' response wasn't, well, we didn't do any of this, we're innocent. It was that there was no personal jurisdiction against Logan Paul because he isn't from Texas, didn't do any CryptoZoo business in Texas, never hired any employees for CryptoZoo in the state of Texas. And get this, he even argued that the game wasn't specifically targeting anyone from Texas. Advertises CryptoZoo to his global audience.
I think my game's gonna make some waves.
Takes people's money, doesn't deliver anything, and when the people who got scammed come, hey Logan, we want some justice, we want some compensation, his reply is, Well, I wasn't specifically targeting Texas, so...
I think that says it all. Logan Paul knows he did the wrong thing. He even gave a half-assed apology for it, but now he's got his lawyers trying to shut it down and get him out of it in court, instead of just giving everyone their money back and making good on his mistake. And the thing that I can't understand is the guy makes eye-watering amounts of money from his business network. His whole life is monetized. Isn't that enough? You know, sell ad space, sell merch, sell your cringe drink, even though he lies about that as well. Why does he need to screw the little guy out of his savings on top of that, just for a few extra bucks that he doesn't even need? Well, I did some digging, and I think I found the answer.
But what's the goal? I mean, bro, one word answer, money is a scoreboard. It's a game to me. Where do you rank on that scoreboard? You know, how many billionaires, how many self-made billionaires are there under 30? It can't be more than 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's cool. That's cool to me. How many kids will that inspire?
It's all just one big...
It's how you went viral, which I guess you talk to people in the crowd, right?
I do from time to time, yeah.
That's not a thing?
No, it is. I mean, I would just say it more properly than that. Yeah, I do crowd work that happens to go viral quite often. Yeah, but I do way more than that.
Crowd work is the proper way to describe it?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, crowd work. I said talk to people in the crowd, I think.
And that sounds like I'm interviewing them.
Our favorite new TikTok comedian, Matt Rife, seems to have gotten himself into a little bit of a pickle. Don't be mistaken, though, it was all planned by the man himself to have maximum impact and pull his name away from being a TikTok star and into the mainstream Netflix and YouTube audience. If you don't know what I'm talking about, TikTok comedian Matt Rife dropped his comedy special on Netflix just recently, and one of the first jokes he told on stage has become instantly controversial. And it's not a coincidence that he put the joke up front. So I'm going to take you through exactly what he said, how he doubled down, and why his core fan base is so outraged by all of this. You see, TikTok comedian Matt Rife has a problem.
I saw you say a lot of times the girls come with their boyfriends end up being fans as well. So is that like a thing of yours? Do you not like the thought? And I'm guessing by what you're saying that you have like a female base, you want to be equal, or like
I'd love for it to be equal. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm incredibly grateful for women. Without women, I never would have like gained the momentum I did on social media. I'm so grateful for that. But in doing that, a lot of dudes didn't like that, I suppose. So it put off a lot of guys without them ever even taking a chance to watch my comedy, which is what I'm so excited about with this special upcoming. Is it's like I finally get to do an hour on a verified platform that people respect and can be like, okay, let's give him a chance. Even if we hate him because certain people like him, let's give him a chance, hopefully.
So your girlfriend's favorite TikTok comedian doesn't want to be her favorite comedian anymore. He wants to be your favorite comedian. And for some uncanny reason, as I was watching this whole fake controversy unfold, I developed this strange, unfamiliar feeling of endearment towards Bert Kreischer. What? But hang on, let's take a couple of steps back for a minute. Oh God, we'll come back to why Matt Rife is making Bert Kreischer look good right now. Let's take a look at this joke that's caused a stir among our female companions. So, TikTok comedian Matt Rife told this joke at the beginning of his Netflix special about going to a restaurant in Baltimore with his friend and being served by a waitress who had a black eye. So after noticing that she had a black eye, this is how the joke goes. We couldn't get over, like, this is the face of the company, this is who you have greeting people. And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like she should be put in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face. And I was like, yeah, but I feel if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's such a stupid joke, and it's clearly not one of his best. I mean, for any of you wondering, it's so obvious that he wrote that joke precisely to make a point. He wanted this to happen. No, wait, hang on. He needed this to happen. I'll explain why in a moment, because he then went and doubled down on his joke after all the outrage that followed. He posted a fake apology on his Instagram story that said, "If you've ever been offended by a joke I've told, here is a link to my apology." And when you click on the link, it takes you to a medical shop that sells special needs helmets. Dude, so edgy. So why is he doing this? Why go through so much effort with this cringy joke and a cringy double down response to cause controversy when you've already blown up and you're already famous? Well, deep down, TikTok comedian Matt Rife is a closet tough guy.
Dude, I'll copy and paste tour dates in a comment section and be like, pull up. Like I'm waiting to fight somebody at a venue. I can't wait.
Okay.
Cannot wait, dude.
You gotta let that go, dude.
I know that's me being 27 and egotistical, but it's just like I can't stay. I threatened to somebody's grandma one time.
Bro, if Tom Segura is telling you that you need to chill and drop it, yeah, you've got a problem.
I'm so confrontational as a person. Like, it drives me insane. I can't beat the fuck out of these people.
Yeah.
But then you have to sit back and go, well, I'm really allowing these people to determine how I feel throughout my day.
You gotta like,
and it's fucking pathetic.
Exactly. Look, you're literally living your dream.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, you can't let someone's bitterness or negativity suck that joy out of you.
See, I actually find this really interesting because I don't think Tom fully understands the problem that TikTok comedian Matt Rife was trying to explain to him. The source of his frustration isn't just annoying trolls in his comment section on social media. I think it's a lot deeper than that. He's frustrated because he got famous for being a pretty boy comedian, and after he got used to the money and the fame, and he started to realize, oh, I'm your girlfriend's favorite TikTok comedian. I just want to be a famous comedian, you know, like Tom Segura or Andrew Schultz. I want to be an edgy Rogan comedian. I don't want to be forever known as this pretty boy who blew up in TikTok. So TikTok comedian Matt Rife found himself in a bit of a pickle. How do I use my Netflix special to create a whole bunch of hype, help me blow up even more, but also at the same time become more popular with dudes? Because I'm a tough guy who wants to fight you.
That's also the thing about eyeballs, right? Is it's subjective. Like, some people find me hideous, and some people think I'm good looking, I guess. But if anybody cared to ask, I don't think I'm good looking at all. I look at people like an Austin Butler, Jason Elordi, a Brad Pitt. Like, these are traditionally attractive. Harry Styles, beautiful men. Yeah. I would never in a million years think I could even stand next to those people. Well, I'm wildly insecure about my looks, and I think it's a very important emphasis to realize there's a huge difference as to how you see yourself versus how other people see you. And if that's all I ever hear is shit about my looks, I go, okay, well, clearly other people think this. You have to acknowledge it. Otherwise, people would be like, oh, you're like pretending to be this humble thing. You know you're hot. It's like, fine, if you think this, I'll make fun of that. Sure.
Bro, what? You've thought about this way too much. Jeez. And I thought I was the one who overthinks these things. Surely Dave Portnoy of all people can set him straight. Come on, Portsy, let him have it.
But if everyone's saying you're hot, women, and I was looking through all this, you have a beautiful girlfriend, you know you're not. So I'm calling bullshit. Because if you're going to these shows and you're hearing women be like, oh, he's so attractive, beautiful girl, you've had a girlfriend, you know you're attractive. I'm not saying you have to be like, these guys, but you have to have confidence.
Okay, all right, so that's actually a perfect setup. Because so then what do I do then? Say everybody thinks I'm attractive. Let's throw that out there as a totally hypothetical. Obviously not true, but as a hypothetical. Say everybody thinks I'm attractive, right? Then I reference it, and I'm the asshole. It's like which one is it? It's like am I not attractive, or do I only have a career because of my looks? Which one is it?
Well, I think it can be both. You can own it and still have a career. I mean, let me put it this way: not all attractive. I'm sure there's plenty of attractive comedians who are not successful.
Potentially. So I guess that can't be it entirely, right? But it's like, well, I'm not allowed to acknowledge what everybody else thinks. That'd be crazy.
No, of course you're allowed to acknowledge it. Listen, that's a beautiful problem to have. I wish I was walking down the street. Everyone's like, look at Dave. He's hot as shit. I would own that. Like, you'd believe.
That's all I'm thinking.
You can be funny and attractive. I mean, look at me, funny, attractive. There you go. Bang. I know you just own both of it.
Like, I had to be funny, dude. I was ugly as for like 22 years, dude. Till I got my teeth done. Oh my God, nobody would even look at me.
You had your teeth done?
Oh yeah, man. Have you ever seen my first season of Wild 'N Out, which hopefully nobody did? Yeah, dude, I had Ohio teeth. It was bad, man. It was so bad.
Yeah, he's thought about this way too much. You can tell the whole situation is bigger than him and he's struggling to cope. And there's an interesting point here in that nowadays, because the comedy scene is so oversaturated and competitive, comedians have to be edgier and edgier, otherwise they'll get lost in the crowd, right? For example, imagine Jerry Seinfeld was starting out today. There's almost no chance he'd break through. What do you guys think? Anyway, fine. So TikTok comedian Matt Rife has bitten off more than he can chew. He curated his whole image around being a pretty boy comedian. He targeted women with his jokes and he leaned into the fame that followed. Now he's sick of it and he just wants to be a normal comedian. And speaking of normal comedians, at the beginning of this video, I said that I have a newfound appreciation for Bert Kreischer throughout this whole debacle. I mean, let's not get carried away here, but I actually have a legit take. Let me explain.
So you've lost a lot. How much have you lost? I lost about 30 pounds right now. I'm just
Good for you.
It's the obvious ones where you go, like I haven't been drinking and I've been eating keto and I've been working out and I'm on testosterone. That's a big game changer.
That a boy, Bert. Get on that test just like Joe Rogan told you to. And just quickly, for my regular viewers, that's the most recent episode of Bertcast which dropped yesterday. And it's funny how because they bank all those episodes like we've been talking about for the last few weeks, and Bert then went on this 80-day health binge, you can tell when they recorded the episode based on how much weight that he says he lost in each episode. So he's just said that he's down 30 pounds, and we know that he said he lost a total of 40 pounds. So via a series of advanced deductive reasoning techniques, I'd say he would have been around 50 days into his 80-day journey, which would put that recording around 2 months old. Brilliant work, guys. Keeping it fresh. So anyway, my point here is this. Bert Kreischer has never had an identity crisis. As much shade as I throw at the guy, as cringy as his whole party boy persona has become, you've got to hand it to him. He stayed true to himself from the beginning. We all know who Bert is and what he stands for. We all know his only joke, which is the machine story, which isn't really a joke. It's just a random story that never happened with no punchline. But that's what he's famous for, and he just dropped a feature film called The Machine this year. Now compare that to TikTok comedian Matt Rife. He's 5 minutes into his fame and fortune and he's already having an identity crisis and a borderline mental breakdown. I seriously appreciate Bert Kreischer for that. He knows his only strength, he knows he's got nothing else to offer, and so he keeps leaning into it year after year after year. You could never accuse Bert of trying to be something that he's not. But wait, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's actually an even bigger problem at play here. So remember in my most recent video how I broke down the whole Golden Globe situation, how they're including a category for comedy specials now? Well, Bert is super excited for this because finally he feels like he's in with a shot to win an actual real award. Here's what I said in that previous video. Could you guys actually imagine if Bert won a Golden Globe? No, like seriously, just think about it. We would never hear the end of it. If Tom won, I think he'd put on his JRE humble Tom persona and try to act the part and all that. But old Bertie boy, yeah, he'd probably get a tattoo of a Golden Globe on his belly or something. He would forever demand to be known as Bert Golden Globe Kreischer. So here's my plea to the Hollywood foreign press. I know you all hate Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K., so I understand if you don't want to give it to them, but for the love of God, do not let it be Bert Kreischer. Give it to Matt Rife if you have to. You know you love his cute little face and his tough Disney guy attitude. Do us all a favor and vote no for Bert Kreischer. So here's the problem. Bert Kreischer is looking like the only safe and viable candidate to win this stupid Golden Globe in January. TikTok comedian Matt Rife was in there with a shot, but after his cringy joke about women in kitchens with black eyes, there's no chance they're going to give it to him. We know the Hollywood foreign press hates Chappelle and Louis C.K., Tom Segura is too edgy for them, and as far as they're concerned, Shane Gillis is a right-wing nutjob in their eyes. Bert is the last man standing. He's going to Stephen Bradbury himself into a Golden Globe, and we're going to have to deal with the aftermath. Oh man, this is bad. This is real bad. If you didn't have a reason to hate TikTok comedian Matt Rife before, well, you've certainly got one now. Anyway, That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment below as usual. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. And if you haven't subscribed, consider jumping on board so you get all my uploads right there in your feed. Enjoy the Thanksgiving break, and I'll catch you in the next one.
What's up, brother?
Are you a YouTuber?
No.
Streamer?
No. I'm just a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, can you tell us a joke?
Yeah, when I was 22 years old, I got involved with the Russian Mafia. How's that?
I don't really get it.
I'm just trying to think of a child-friendly joke I have. I don't know. I don't got one for you.
Oh, I just want to
Take care, brother.
I just want to ask if you were a YouTuber or anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just
Bye.
a comedian.
All right.
Sorry to let you down, brother. Have a good one.